Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are talking about 10 things that men actually want on Christmas from their lady in particular. These are things that a lot of women do not understand. It's sometimes hard, I think, to get gift ideas from them because what they're looking for are oftentimes things that they would have a hard time asking for. They want their lady to do these things for them. It's not just about particular items. And for a lot of women, they just don't think the same way. So it's hard for ladies to end up giving the things to men that they really want on Christmas. So we need to talk about that. I made a video that was just like this 1 year ago, but this is a revamped list. I have listened to you guys. I read through the comments on the last video. I made my changes, and I'm really excited to know if you guys think that I nailed this one on the head. And if not, like always, I'm open to comments. I will improve for the next year. But if not, if this is just a perfect list, absolutely, you can boost my ego and leave that comment down below. Also, before we get started, please remember to like this video and subscribe if you haven't yet to catch my videos every Friday. With that being said, this list is a countdown, right? It is in a particular order. So I'm going to go with sort of the lesser important things down to the most important thing at number 1. And I'm pretty sure that you guys will all agree with number 1. I am adding some information into number 1. It is the same number 1 as my video 1 year ago, but I had a really good question in the comments of last year's video on what a man could do in order to help receive number 1. So we're going to talk about that. Without further ado, let's start off with number 10. Something that most men want uniformly is to stay at home for the holidays. Like for actual Christmas, he wants to be at home. He doesn't want the stress of travel unless maybe you're traveling to the beach just to relax. But even with that aside, he would love it if you could all just stay home, because moving around to different parties and just not being able to really settle in or relax at any point, like that is stressful. That's not a way that most people really want to enjoy their holiday. And for men, a big part of this is that his woman and his family, like his immediate family, they are the most important thing to him. Women may have a hard time understanding this because they might want to see their extended family, or maybe they just feel the pressure to meet the expectations from her family. Men don't really care about this as much. They would rather start new traditions with the people that they love the most without all the stress of getting a large group of people together. Number 9, this is a pretty short, sweet, simple one. Get him a hoodie that you like, since you'll be the one stealing it in a few months anyways. He really has enough hoodies that he is fine with you picking one that you'll wear later on, especially if you wear it with the short shorts, like the tight short shorts to where you can't even see it. Like you just see the bottom of the hoodie and that's it. Okay, getting off track. Number 8. This one is a revamped one from last year. You want to get him something that he enjoys consuming without feeling like he needs to share it. Okay, so this could be a good bottle of whiskey or rum if he drinks. It could be really good coffee beans. It could be his favorite cookies or candy that's packaged. Whatever it is, what is key here is that he can't feel like he needs to share it. So most men are going to feel like they want to share things because that's them, right? Like they are the provider. They want to give. So what is key is that you end up getting him something that like the rest of the household doesn't really care for. Like it's not their favorite things. They're not going to be there like, big eyes just begging him for a taste or whatever. Like he needs to feel like he doesn't need to offer that up because he already knows that the people that surround him doesn't really care for that item. Number 7, this is a new one. Newly added, was not in last year's. You should get him something that has to do with his hobby, right? So this could be golf clubs. It could be a guitar. It could be a train set. It could be Legos. It's just whatever hobby that he's into. It could be anime whatever it is. What this does to a man is it shows him that you support his hobby, right? Like you're not avoiding getting him these things because you hate it when he spends the day golfing or he spends half a day golfing. Like women that don't support their husband going and doing things that he enjoys, they are not going to get those things for him. So if you are a very supportive wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever, if you get him these things, it gives him the message, right? That you do support him, that you want him to have a good time. You want him to have things that he does on his own and that he enjoys. Number 6, that man, if he has kids, he wants the kids to just be happily opening gifts on Christmas morning. And that might seem like an obvious one that I'm telling you guys, but I want you to take real meaning from it because there is a lot of meaning. Because as a father, he works hard all year round. And for him to be able to splurge and spoil the kids on one day, he wants to be able to just soak it all in and enjoy it. Number 5, this is the selfless one, right? Because men, good men, are pretty darn selfless. He just wants you to be happy. That's number 5. He just wants you to be happy. Try not to be stressed out so much because of the holidays. And the reason that he really wants you to be happy is because then it means it will be a peaceful household. Like we all know that's the case. Number 4 ties into this a little bit because if it's peaceful, there's going to be some relaxation time. And what he wants in particular is some relaxation time in a comfortable chair because that man, he will feel appreciated if he can have the time and the space to just relax after opening gifts. This obviously goes along with the one that I mentioned earlier about staying home because he would much rather relax in his favorite chair at home rather than some plastic folding chair at Aunt Mary's. Number 3, some good food and drink. This is pretty self-explanatory, as we all know that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And what's key here is, either just know your man, know what he wants on a yearly basis, like every holiday. There's usually particular things both men and women really like to enjoy on Christmas or surrounding Christmas. Okay, guys, we are getting down to the last 2. I think that most of you guys are going to agree with these. Number 2, coupons for you know what. Okay, I had a lot of questions on this last time. Come on, guys, for you know what. I guess maybe this isn't like a universal thing that like all couples have experienced. But what I mean is the thing that you did all the time when you were dating that's like truly selfless, but you really don't do anymore, or like your lady doesn't do for you anymore, potentially. Like those specific acts you could write down on a coupon and give it to them. But I do understand that there's some limits to this, right? Like not all relationships are there and they're not as comfortable, I guess, with this idea. So it does take some of the right headspace. This is a comment that I got in last year's video where a man was just really curious. He wanted some advice on how to get a woman in the right headspace because women do need to be in the right headspace, right? Like I think that some women are more skilled at being able to flip the switch more quickly than others. So it depends on where your lady is landing and how much or what exactly you need to do leading up to that. But the advice that I can give as a woman is to make sure that you are not stressing out so much during the holidays. This is tied into some of the other things I've already talked about. Make sure that as a woman, you're not overdoing it because a lot of those things that you think are going to be like the most important and most appreciated are not the things that your husband or your boyfriend or fiance like really wants. Those things are not actually going to make him feel appreciated. It's you being happy, being relaxed, being in the right headspace, and then leading that a little bit. Right? Like being a little bit spicy, leading it with some coupons, which brings me to number 1. The number 1 thing that all men universally would love to have is you, his woman, wrapped in a bow. That's it. This goes along with what I just said, But the difference being that it's something that you both get to enjoy right then and there. He'll know what's happening. And don't misinterpret this. Like, it's not that all men just want that. It's more than that. Like, he wants the connection and the touch and the feeling of love on Christmas. It's really that simple. But look, if for some reason the relationship just isn't there yet, or you're not feeling it, you can't get into that headspace, something is keeping you from doing the deed as a woman, another great option is to give that man the best foot rub of his life. That's it, guys. That is the end of the list. I hope you enjoyed this video. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and I will see you guys next week.